Hello and welcome back, or welcome. This is your first time on my channel. My name is Justina, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about a new moon in Scorpio happening on November the 4th at 12 degrees and 40 minutes. If you have any planets at around 12 degrees of one of the fixed signs, and this will include either Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, or Leo, then this new moon will impact you on a more profound level. Now, the moon is in its fall in Scorpio, and the planet is considered to be in its fall when it is placed in the sign opposite the sign of its exaltation. So the moon is exalted in Taurus, and it is in its fall in Scorpio. The fall is a position of weakness, considering the function of a planet. So this is not the most comfortable placement for the moon. And during a new moon in Scorpio, we tend to direct our emotions inwards. And these emotions tend to be pretty intense and even obsessive at times. So if you have any planets in the 8th house, or if you have any placement in Scorpio or ascendant in Scorpio, for instance, then you are likely to be more familiar with the intensity of this new moon. The moon in Scorpio also creates this need to understand our emotions, our feelings on a more profound level. So during this time, you might desire more meaningful relationships, conversations, and there could be a stronger emotional intensity as well, and a strong need for drama even. So under stressful circumstances, it's very easy to create intensity or drama in our lives. This is a fixed moon phase, and fixed moon phases tend to be pretty complex and serious. And with Scorpio involved, the theme of this new moon could be related to the money we owe to others, mortgages, investments, transformation, gains, losses, intimate life. Scorpio's captivating nature could manifest in us being pulled into something or someone irresistibly or compulsively even. So here, this is a great time for getting into the root of any issue, any problem, and trust issues could come into focus as well at this time. The traditional dispositor of this new moon, Mars, is widely applying to conjunct both the sun and the moon. It's a 9-degree orb, but here, this can intensify our feelings, make it difficult to hide challenging emotions like anger, hot temper, or irritation. However, on the other hand, Pluto, the modern dispositor of this new moon, is squaring the dwarf planet Aries, which is placed in the sign of Aries. So this highlights a great determination, a great depth of determination. So here, with so much fixed energy at the time of this new moon, with fixed energy, sometimes it's difficult to get something off the ground, but once you do, you are likely to get through to the end. One of the important aspects of this new moon is the new moon in opposition to Uranus in Taurus. And Uranus is still retrograde at this time until January 2022. So this could suggest that whatever situations, relationships, issues you will be dealing at this time might not be fully resolved, might feel slightly uncertain as well. So you might have to put in extra effort to deal with them, to resolve them. And Uranus is the planet of the unexpected and sudden events. So there could be situations or developments that are out of your control. So it's important how you deal with these erratic or even rebellious energies at this time. So it is really important how you respond to these energies, to these situations, to these events, because any rushed or careless attitude, behaviors might turn minor situations into a complete chaos. At the time of this new moon, we also have a fixed T-square. Both the new moon and Uranus in Taurus will square Saturn in Aquarius. So Saturn in Aquarius becomes the midpoint of the new moon and Uranus in Taurus. So here, the fixed T-square represents a high degree of strength, determination. So here earlier I mentioned Pluto and Aries in Aries square, which would create a high depth of determination. So does the T-square. So this can help us to concentrate our energies in one direction with great determination. All right, and on this note, let's move into the predictions for each rising sign. And this will be based on Western astrology and the whole sign system. All right, so let's look at the first sign, Aries. Rising, this new moon will activate your 8th house of deep matters, transformation, joint resources, finances, and intimate life. So this is actually an important sphere of your life throughout the whole of the month, because Mars will remain here throughout November, the Sun until the second part of the month, until it moves to Sagittarius. But also Mercury will transition into this area of your life in the first week of November, and Venus will stay here until this new moon. So lots of energy centered around deep and profound matters here. So this new moon might prompt you to transform something in your life, an area of life that you are not satisfied with. But also with the opposition to Uranus and Taurus, there could be some changes into your financial circumstances. For some people, this could be maybe some unexpected inheritance as well. You might also have to make some important decisions at this time about some issues, some deep issues that perhaps you didn't have the courage to approach before. But apart from that, this new moon brings also light into what you gain as a result of other people. All right, so let's look at the next sign, Taurus rising. This new one will activate your 7th house, and the 7th house brings beginnings related to relationships, business partnerships with clients, or friendships, for instance. So for some people, this could be signing some new contracts or agreements. This could be a beginning of a new relationship or of a new friendship as well. But apart from that, you might transform or move your relationship to the next level. With the opposition to Uranus and Taurus, there could be some unexpected circumstances or events concerning your marriage, your personal relationships, or any agreements that you might have. Now, there could be some new opportunities as well that come your way through any associates or friends. And this new moon also allows you to work with any fears or with any stubborn behavioral patterns that perhaps stand in your way and hold you back before moving forward, especially with things connected to your personal relationships. Right, so let's look at Gemini rising. Gemini, for you, this is activation of the 6th house of work, health, well-being, co-workers. So work might pick up quite strongly at this time. So you might be involved in some new projects, or you might be doing dealing with lots of different things, multitasking at work, or even in your everyday life. You might get a new appliance, a household appliance that helps you deal with everyday duties, everyday home responsibilities. For other people, this could be hiring an au pair for your children, or getting a new tenant for your property. Now, this new moon also might prompt you to introduce a new health routine, and something that could help you to become more fit, or generally to improve your well-being. There could be also a sudden decision to change your lifestyle, to introduce a new health regime, or perhaps there could be some unexpected circumstances that occur at your work, for instance. Now, with Cancer rising. So for you, this is the activation of the 5th house of creativity, children, fun, romance. So here with this new moon, you might be stimulated to work with your thoughts, to work with your imagination, with your ideas more constructively, in order to develop a strategy to start something new, especially if you experienced a blockage in the last weeks or months. Now would be a great time for starting something new, a new business idea, or a new creative project, or perhaps you might get an opportunity for doing some freelancing or contracting at this time. Now, there could be some new beginnings connected to the romantic side of life. So romance is highlighted, dating, or you might really feel like doing something that brings you fun, joy, and stimulates your desire for entertainment. There could be some new beginnings concerning your children as well, or perhaps your child could be getting married, for instance. Right, so let's look at Leo rising. So for Leos, this is the activation of your fourth house. Fourth house, home and family matters come into focus throughout the majority of the month, because also Mars will be here throughout November. Mercury will move here straight after this new moon, and the Sun will stay here until the second part of November. So lots of activity on the home front this month for you, dear Leos. There could be some unexpected events, circumstances, or some unexpected family visits that may happen this month as well. So generally, you might seek to improve your home base, your home situation. You might decide you want to renovate or buy new furniture, or this could be also it could be also a sudden decision to sell the house or invest your money in a new property. So generally, inner safety, inner emotional safety and security comes into focus at this time. Right, so let's look at a Virgo rising. So for Virgos, this is the third house of communication, of your mind, so your rational mind. So you might generally be overstimulated, full of really interesting ideas. So you might decide you want to start something new, perhaps even a new business, or set up a new website, for instance. Generally, it's a great time for writing as well, for brainstorming. Mars will be here throughout the whole of the month. And you might be dealing with documents, with letters, with tests. You might decide you want to start a new course of study as well, or plan a short trip. There could be more activity in your community life. So this could be a pretty social life as well. You might feel more outgoing than usual as well. You might receive some unexpected news with the opposition to Uranus in Taurus, or some unexpected letters, or this could be also related to your sibling, cousin, next of kin. Right, so let's look at the Libra rising. So for Libras, this is the activation of the second house of income, finances, possessions, resources. So this is a great time for doing financial planning, budgeting, for working on your financial situation. Here with opposition to Uranus in Taurus, there could be some new financial opportunities that come your way, something unforeseen. Now, this is also the house that rules movable possessions and resources. So you might be buying a car or selling your car at this time. At this time, you might also decide you want to redefine your personal values. Right, so let's look at Scorpio rising. So for Scorpio, this is a pretty special new moon. It's happening in your first house. So in a way, you're starting a new cycle, and your identity, your ego, your persona is fully illuminated at this time. So it's a great time for dealing with some personal matters, personal goals and projects, for starting something new, especially since Mars is also present here. So you should be pretty energized in November, because Mars will remain in your sign throughout the whole of November. Also the Sun until the second part of the month, and Mercury after this new moon will enter your sign as well. So lots of focus on your personal ambitions, aspirations, and goals this month, and on your personal appearance as well. You might decide you want to change something in your appearance, in your look, in the way you dress yourself. But here you're also dealing with your direction. So there could be some new beginnings concerning your life direction at this time. Generally, with this new moon, it's also a good time for self-reflection, for reevaluating your own goals, your achievements, your past achievements, and deciding where is it that you want to move forward. You might start a new chapter at this time as well. And here with the opposition from Uranus in Taurus, there could be some really sudden and unexpected or unforeseen events that you find yourself in, but also some really unique ideas. You might come up with some really unique ideas for yourself, for your life. Sagittarius rising. So for you, this new moon will activate your 12th house. So in a way, you might be finishing some chapters, some cycles in your life, especially since Mars will be present here throughout the whole of November, and Mercury as well, along with the Sun until the second half of November. So you might be doing lots of self-reevaluations, self-reflection come into focus as well. But at the time of this new moon, your dreams might be more vivid than usual, and so you might even experience a temporary insomnia. So it's a really great time for putting your dreams, your ideas into clear and realistic even formats like writing or journaling or blogging. Because once these planets move into your first house, you might have the motivation to put some of these ideas into action. Now, with the 12th house new moon, you might also deal with some hidden aspects of your life, things perhaps that were hidden away from you before. And this could happen pretty unexpectedly, especially with this opposition from Uranus in Taurus in your 6th house. So it's a great time for dealing with issues that perhaps hold you back from reaching your goals as well. It's also a great time for learning astrology, for learning about spirituality, for meditating, or for spending time in nature. Right, so let's move to Capricorn rising. For you, this new moon will activate your 11th house of group activities, friendships, networking comes into focus here, but also your hopes, dreams, and goals. So here with this new moon, you might gain recognition for something that you did in the past, or alternatively, you might experience a sense of belonging to a certain group or a social circle. Generally, with this new moon, this could be a time of some unexpected opportunities that come your way, especially with that opposition from Uranus in Taurus. So it's a great time for getting closer to your long-term plans, your long-term wishes. It's also a great time for networking because you might attract really positive experiences into your life, but also people who closely align with your personality. All right, so let's look at Aquarius rising. For Aquarians, this is the activation of your 10th house of your public life, your public image, career, professional life, professional achievements, goals. So here with this new moon, something in your career might need adjustments. There could be changes in management, for instance, or you might welcome a new member of team, or perhaps you might be involved in a new project at your work. This new moon is a great opportunity to move closer to your dreams, to your career dreams, especially. Now, your professional life is emphasized now, so you might gain recognition for some past achievements connected to your career. Since this new moon will oppose Uranus in Taurus in your 4th house, there could be some unexpected changes connected to your public status, or perhaps engagement. Now, this new moon is also related to your life mission, your stand within the society. And for Pisces rising, this is the activation of the 9th house that deals with foreign affairs, foreign people, faraway travel, life direction, and also higher learning. So this is a great time for reconnecting with your life ambitions, life aspirations, for taking action so that you can move forward into the right direction, especially if you felt stuck in the last weeks or months, or uncertain, especially with all these retrogrades as well. So here, with this, during this time, you might be prompted to deal with matters that will help you to expand your horizons, expand your knowledge. So you might plan a faraway trip. You might decide you want to be more spontaneous, more adventurous as well, especially since Mars, the planet of action, motivation, drive, will remain here throughout the whole of the month. And Mercury will move here straight after this new moon. So it's a great time for learning as well. Learning, connecting with people from different cultures, countries, learning a new language, dealing with any assignments at your university as well, or dealing with, you might have a sudden unexpected opportunity for traveling as well, with the opposition to Uranus in Taurus. Right, so we reached the last sign. I wish you a happy new moon. I hope it's a great time for you, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you, and bye for now.